There's always a lot of hype in the world of MotoGP, but here are 5 things that were overhyped and didn't really pay off quite as well as people were hoping. First on the list is the Rossi Ducati deal. So this was supposedly the match made in heaven with the Italian multiple champion, arguably the greatest rider of all time, with Italy's biggest motorcycle manufacturer, Ducati. In reality, it didn't turn out quite so well, with Rossi struggling for 2 years on a bike that he felt was far too stiff and uncompetitive. This resulted in 3 podiums over the 2 years and 2 fastest laps, finishing 7th in 2011 and 6th in 2012. At the end of 2012, Rossi decided he'd had enough and went back to his Yamaha factory team, where he stayed until 2020 and then did his swan song season in 2021 in a satellite team, but still with a factory bike. Number 2 on the list is MotoGP's switch to an 800cc limit. At the end of 2006, the 990cc engines were replaced with 800cc engines due to safety concerns. The 990s were getting really fast towards the end of the straight, and the thinking was that introducing an 800cc limit would help to drop top speeds and make the racing safer. In reality, nothing like this happened. What they actually ended up with across all manufacturers was a super expensive, rev-hungry engine that was extremely spiky in its power delivery, and you had to run more corner speed to get a decent lap time, which meant you were coming out of the corner right on the edge of the tyre with a really peaky engine delivery, leading to more high sides, more crashes, and a load of motorbikes that couldn't overtake each other because everybody was trying to run the same line. You can see Dorna know that they got it wrong because the 800s only lasted 5 miserable seasons before being replaced with 1000cc engines again, but this time they had a restriction to the bore width, which in essence limits the number of revs that the engine can produce just because of the materials and the likelihood of it breaking if you rev them too hard. Number 3, Maverick Vinales is the Yamaha team leader in 2021. Vinales was signed to the factory Yamaha team in 2017 and won at Qatar on his debut. However, throughout the next seasons, Rossi and Vinales always had different ideas with regards to development of the Yamaha M1. So in 2021, when Rossi had been moved to the satellite team, albeit still with a factory bike, that left Vinales very much as Yamaha's development rider and number 1 rider. Factory Yamaha had signed Fabio Quartararo from the privateer Yamaha, but Yamaha was still very much putting all their money behind Vinales to be a championship contender in 2021. What actually happened was, although Vinales won the season opener again in Qatar, his results throughout 2021 were very disappointing and was starting to struggle with development of the bike and with pace overall. Meanwhile, Fabio Quartararo was consistently turning up and delivering better results. So midway through the 2021 season, there was a shock announcement that he was going to be going to Aprilia for 2022. Then prior to the 2021 Austrian Grand Prix, Yamaha withdrew him entirely because they had looked at his data from the Styrian Grand Prix from the previous week and it appeared like he was trying to cause an engine failure on the bike, so Yamaha just completely ended his contract. The net result was he ended up starting for Aprilia late-ish 2021 season, but yeah, unceremoniously dumped by Yamaha. Number 4, Alex Marquez to Repsol Honda in 2020. In theory, this is a PR and marketing dream. The Spanish Marc Marquez with his Spanish brother on the Spanish-backed Works Honda team on the MotoGP grid together. In reality, what actually happened was a global pandemic. Marc Marquez injured himself early on in the season and was then out for a bit, and Alex Marquez struggling to get used to a difficult-to-ride Honda MotoGP bike. At the end of the 2020 season, he finished 14th in the World Championship, getting 2 seconds, a couple of retirements, but 74 points overall, and then it was announced before he had even raced for Repsol Honda that he would be demoted the following season to the satellite LCR racing team. Number 5 was the 2018 Silverstone MotoGP race. This was meant to be a fantastic race, freshly relayed brand new surface at Silverstone leading to some awesome racing. Shortly after the track was redone in 2018, there was a test for Cal Crutchlow and he said the new surface was perfect to Dorna officials. 5 months later, the Formula 1 race there, and it was getting increasingly bumpy, and Hamilton went on the record as saying that the resurface was a waste of money, worst job ever. It was even worse than it was before, and worse than the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Come MotoGP time in August, it absolutely lashed it down on the weekend. The new track surface didn't allow the track to drain properly, leading to a lot of standing water. Meant that a lot of riders crashed on the new surface. Tito Rabat badly broke his leg. The net result was that the race had to be abandoned on grounds of safety. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Have I missed anything? Is there anything that you think is more overhyped than the stuff I've mentioned here? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this kind of content, give it a like and a subscribe because that helps the channel grow.